Hi everyone, it's Justine here from House of Mahalo. So today we're going to be working on the first part of my series of giveaways for hitting 50 subscribers. So if you didn't see my last video, I'm making a loaded ephemera pocket, and I'm going to make a few pieces to go inside, all on camera, and then I'm also going to throw in some vintage ephemera into the pocket as well. So this will be the first piece of ephemera I want us to make together. So the rules of the giveaway are fairly simple. All I would like you to do is comment on one of the giveaway videos to tell me what your favourite is from that video. What was your favourite piece that we finished together? So you can comment on this video, you can comment on all of them. Each video that you comment on for the giveaway videos, it counts as an entry into the prize draw. So what are we making today? We are going to make something like this. Now this is just a prototype, and obviously we're using the Tim Holtz papers today. So this is just a prototype from a different project I've been working on. So here's what it is. It is an over-the-page flip. When you open it up, you get some journaling space here. You get these series of laces and trims, which you can maybe use in your projects. You know, you could clip them off and use them in your projects, or you could keep them like that because they hide another journaling spot right here. So that is the kind of thing we're making. As I say, this is just the prototype. Now I have to confess, this is not my idea. I saw this in a recent flip through from, I believe the channel name is Sunflowers and Doors, so I'll link her video below, or I'll link her channel below rather. She does some gorgeous flip throughs of her journals. She makes some fabulous journals, and I saw this in, I think it was her wedding journal. And I really liked the idea of mixing the papers and fabrics together. That's what I'm all about. That's why I will often have journal covers that are made from fabric. And I thought it would be a great way to use up some of these Tim Holtz 6x6s. So that's what we're going to make today. So if that sounds like something that you would like to find out how to do, then follow along and we'll make some of these together. Now, of course, the one I just showed you is very much girly. It's to go in my blue French chic journal that I'm going to be probably working on next year now, which is very much pinks and blues and laces and things. But I want to use the Tim Holtz papers in this project, which, you know, mixing it with lace and fabrics, it might seem a bit odd, but I think it could work well, and I'm always a fan of using laces and things. So these are the papers that I'm going to use. So I've picked out some 6x6s, and I've just cut them in half. So what we have is we have 3 inches across by the 6 inches tall. So I've got this one here, this one with the beautiful birds, and then these two, I've cut them horizontally, so actually they're going to be more side tucks rather than over the page. They're going to be to the side. So that's those. I've also got some papers from Nanine at Collage Types Birds and Botanicals kit. I've just printed out a couple of the same sheets because I really like the lined part of the journal page here. So we'll be using that inside. I've got labels and birds. I did lots of fussy cutting last night, so we've got plenty to play with there, hopefully. And of course, I've got my trusty box of lace. There's plenty there for us to use, so hopefully we'll be able to make something fun together. So the first step is to, once you've cut down your 6x6s, so as I say, you want them to be about 3 inches across. Some of them I sort of had to be dictated to by the pattern as well, so you know, you might find that they're slightly different, but if you aim for 3 by 6 inches, then you know, you'll have a good size to play with, I think. So the first step, very easy, is just for us to fold the scrapbook papers. And again, you want to be looking at your image. So normally I would just fold straight in half, but that would sort of cut off the top of this little guy's head, so we don't want to do that. So I'm actually going to fold about here. Okay, folding as straight as I can along one edge, because we can always trim off one side if we need to. And then we're just going to bone folder that fold down so that it's not too bulky. Oops. And we have our first one like this. So it's super easy. So I'm just going to go through and do them all. So this one I'm going to fold straight into halves, making sure I'm lining up I'll line up on this side and then I'll trim any excess off. So I hope you're all well today. Thanks so much for joining me for this video. I hope you're going to find something in here that will get you thinking about how you can use your scrapbook papers and journal kits and all of the rest of it. I realise I haven't popped on my light, so I'm just going to do that in case that helps a bit as well. So it's sort of a very overcast day here in the UK, which is no surprise really. So hopefully popping that light on would have helped a bit. It's helping me as well, because I realise I've gotten quite used to having that light on, even just crafting without the video. It's been really helpful. Okay, there we go. So I think those are nice and folded now. So we've got a butterfly. We've got sort of well, I suppose that one could be that side because that to me is more front coverish. Got a bird here and we've got the two birds there. So the next step is we want to round the corners. Really this is just for looks, and obviously I'm checking to make sure that the you know, things are straight, because I realise I probably need to trim off a couple, but these two look fine. Okay, let me just check that one. Yeah, I've got a little bit of overlap there, so I'm just going to trim the edge. Oops. Okay. And this one. Now this is, one thing I should say, this is best with non-directional paper, or at least when you fold it over, you have, you know, you've got the birds the right way up. And then this on the back, it doesn't matter so much that the feathers are upside down, in my opinion. This one, bird is the right way up, but then you turn it over and you get this upside down writing, which I'm not a fan of. So we're going to put some laces and things on the bottom just to cover that up, because yeah, we don't really want that. But non-directional paper, this will be even so much easier for you, because you won't have to worry about things being upside down. But I wanted to use the Tim Holtz, and I thought this could be a different way to use it, which hopefully will get some of you thinking. As I say, I've just used the 6x6s, so it's a good way to use those up as well. So all my corners are rounded, there we go. Fabulous. Okay, so we're working on the inside now. So I'm going to go this way and this way. Now it seems a real shame to cover the inside, I know, but I'm using the sheets from the Neen to stitch the laces onto. That's what I'm doing, because otherwise if you stitch straight through, I'm using my sewing machine. You don't have to, you could just glue. So if you don't want to lose this, you could glue your laces in. But if you are going to stitch with a sewing machine, you don't really want to have your stitching come through here, unless you're going to cover that up, which could be an option. I want to keep things simple, so I am going to use Neen's sheets as the inside. So what I want to do, easier if we just work one at a time, because the premise is basically the same. So what I would like to do is tear down the sheet. Oops, sorry, doing my usual, I'm chucking things everywhere. I want to try and get the lines in. Now I'm tearing just inside of my scrapbook paper, because I don't want to lose the, I would like to have a border, because I don't want to lose the pattern completely from the Tim Holtz. So again, about here. And it's okay if it looks quite rustic, I'm alright with that, but you know, you could tear it a bit neater if you don't like that look quite as much. We want to tear about here. Okay, there we go. Don't worry about those bits I've just torn off, they will get used in something. So we have this, so you basically have your 6x6 folded in half, or folded you know, until you're happy with the pattern, so you've got it same on both sides. Whoops. You've rounded the corners, And now we're working on the inside. To tear down a piece of paper, you could use tea-dyed paper, you could use really anything, any kind of paper. You probably want to go for something thinnish, so I'm just using copy paper so that it won't add too much bulk, but you want it to be thick enough that it will go through your sewing machine with the laces okay. So that's just something to bear in mind there. So we have this, perfect. So I'm now going to ink the edges. Now, of course, if you were going to mass make these, you'd be doing all of the steps in one go. I'm going to do a couple on camera like this, and then I'm going to pause because, you know, you don't want to watch me do the same thing over and over again, I'm sure. But I want to do a couple so that you get the idea of what it is that we're doing and how to do it, just in case you missed it the first time or anything like that. Okay, there we go. Fab. Okay, so now we need to figure out what laces we're going to have. Now what I like to do at this point is I just like to fold over the piece of paper so it's kind of in half, just because then I can see where the crease is going to be in the fold, so I can see where I want to be putting my laces. That's all that's for. So let's find some lace. Now I want to kind of go with the colours of these, so I'm, you know, thinking creams and, you know, yeah, creams and green if I have any, maybe yellow. Got various things here, so I'm just pulling out some stuff. My box is huge, so please forgive me that it's not in front of us. I'm thinking gold as well. I've got a little bit of gold blush type of colour. Let's just have a little look. Ooh, I've got this nice green. It's like olive green. Let's see how we go with those. If I need to pull out any more, then I will. Let's just see. So we want to start chopping our laces. Now this is a really good scrap buster as well, because you're going to have your laces running down here. So if I get my prototype, there we go. If I get my prototype, as you can see, they're just little strips of lace, you know, a couple of inches long, because you don't want them overhanging past your little piece here. So yeah, they're not very big, so it's a really good scrap buster. So you want to sort of hold your laces against your scrap of paper up to that fold mark, and then you want to trim just a little bit shy of the bottom, so that you can, you know, they're not overhanging the edge. And then you can use the one you've already cut to give you another one for a different item, a different piece. Okay, and I'm going to use this one, this nice curvy lace. So I'm just going to do the same thing, hold it up against the paper. Now it doesn't have to be exact, and it's probably a nice thing for them to be all different lengths anyway, because, you know, it gives you that sort of scrappiness that we like from junk journaling anyway. There we go. Now that prototype was the first one I've made of these, but I really liked how it turned out, so I did want to share the idea with you. I hope you like the idea. So that gives me two green. I quite like this one. This is like kind of like that. Oops, losing my green. Now I sort of, how many did I use? I used 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I've got about 5 or 6 laces in each one. But it also determines by how wide your laces are as well. Because, you know, ideally you want to be able to see peaks of them all. You'll get an idea of what I mean in a minute. I do want to use this one, I think. This one's a bit of a, this is a wide piece, but I don't think I'm going to use it as a whole bit, so let's just chop into this. sorry if I'm a bit rusty this morning. It's my first crafting of the day. I should really learn to craft before a video, because I don't know, I feel a bit robotic in the morning, do you? I know I do. I feel a bit like, oh, can't quite get my words out and all that, but you know, I'm just too excited to share the ideas, so please forgive me. Okay, and about there. Alright, let's see how we're looking with those. If we need more laces, we can do more. So you basically just start lining up your laces so that you've kind of got them overlapping. So when you're opening up this piece, you can kind of see them all, or little pieces of them. Okay, and then we've got this green. Oops, green there. And then I'm just going to put this one in there. Okay, now I feel like we need maybe a different colour here. I want more green, I think. So I'm wondering whether to just get another piece of this, because I quite like this for the colours we're using. I don't think I would use this very often, to be honest, so let's see if we can wangle this one in here, just to give us a little peek of the green. So I want to cut that down a bit. As I say, this would be a great scrap buster if you've got little offcuts of lace lying around. Or even when you're making your journal, you know, if you're using lace in your projects, save the lace that you're using to make one of these at the same time as making your journal. That would be cool. So that's the kind of thing we're going for. So when you have it inside, you just get this peak of laces, you know, overhanging and stuff, so you can just sort of see the different pieces. And now we want to stitch them into this this backing paper. Now at this point, if you do want to add a border at the top, so on this one, I had a bit of a border here along horizontal, which I thought was kind of nice, so I might decide to do that. Now you don't want anything too thick. I quite like the crochet, but I'm worried it might be a bit thick, so I'm just going to see if I've got anything else that would work. It also helps you with following a line when you come to stitch them in as well, if you are stitching. Of course, if you're gluing, then that's fine too. I think I'm just going to use something simple for this one. So that will do me. So I've just cut off a piece. I'm going to lay across the top, and then using my sewing machine, I'm just going to stitch with a zigzag stitch right across this piece of lace at the top. So it will catch all the pieces of lace, attach them to this piece of paper, and then we can just glue it straight into here, and then we're ready to decorate up. So I hope that was clear. As I say, it's my first time showing these on video, so I'm hoping that's clear. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pause the video. So I'm going to get everything laid out like this and stitched in, and then I'll show you a close-up for how it looks, and then we'll carry on with these. We'll decorate up the fronts and do all some fun things with those so they look really pretty. So I'll be back shortly. Okay, I'm back. I've done all the stitching. So I've got two horizontal ones. And what I don't know if I pointed this out earlier, but it's important, whichever way you're doing it, make sure that your lace doesn't go over your crease, because that will obviously impede this flap, you know, opening and closing, and will also, you know, add unnecessary bulk. So make sure you're not going over the crease. So in this case, my crease is here, so I've kept the laces out of the way. And then for the top loading ones, obviously you want to keep them below the crease that you've got in the paper there. So I've got them all stitched. They look a bit messy, I know they do, but we're going to tidy them up now. So obviously you want to trim off all of your excess threads. Where are my scissors? Here they are. So we're going to trim the excess threads first of all, Now I did do a back stitch on my sewing machine. You don't have to do that because we're going to glue the pieces of paper down onto the scrapbook paper, so your stitching will be protected, which is also great news if, like me, you have a bit of an incident where maybe your sewing machine tugs at your paper occasionally and maybe you know, rips a piece of it, or the threads get stuck or anything like that. Because you're not stitching straight into the scrapbook paper, all of those issues will be hidden and they will be saved by the fact that we're going to glue these pieces down. So all good. Now we're just trimming up the threads now, and then we're gonna glue the paper down into the scrapbook paper, and then where we can see lace overhanging, we're just going to trim that off, because the idea is the lace is a surprise when you open up the scrapbook paper. So just got these to do, and once they're tidied up with the threads I'll just bring them up closer so you can see exactly what it is that I did. As I said, I just went across the top lace that I added with a zigzag stitch, just catching all of the threads onto the paper, and I just used white thread and a brown thread. I basically just used whatever I had in the machine, to be honest. Okay, cool. So this is what we've got. We've got a very messy, basically it's just stitched onto the paper. So just a zigzag stitch, and as I say, we're going to stick the paper down inside the scrapbook paper now, and we are going to trim off any excess. So let's just stick these down. Now you can use tacky glue, you can use your Yoo-hoo stick, your glue stick. It's just paper to paper, so don't feel like you have to use your absolute best glue for this part. So I'm just going to use my Yoo-hoo stick, and then if my tacky glue is not playing up, I'm then going to go over it with the tacky glue, but sometimes it plays up. So let me just use a bit of scrap. Okay, so I'm just going to run the tacky glue just a bit. You don't need heaps for this. There we go. And just move these to the side. There we go. And we're just going to stick the paper inside the scrapbook paper, obviously trying to line up your creases that you made. So just see if you can see those. There we go. And then glue down. And try and glue it straight if you can. There we go. As I say, any excess that's hanging over can be trimmed off. It's funny, this project, I know it looks like an absolute mess when you first get going, but I think they're so effective when you're actually finished. And you know, they can be useful. You can take off these pieces of lace to use in your journal, or you can just keep them there because, as I say, it's a really fun hidden spot underneath there. Because if somebody was rifling through your journal, how dare they, then they would just see, I mean, they would see this journal space at the top, but maybe they wouldn't look underneath the lace. Maybe they wouldn't think to do that. And as I say, you've got this nice little hidden journaling spot in there. So that's that one. So I'm just going to pause, get them all glued down. You don't need to see me doing that. And then we'll come back, we'll trim them up together, and then we'll start decorating the Tim Holtz part of the paper. Okay, so I've got all of the scrappy papers glued inside my Tim Holtz paper now. So now it's just a case of us bone folding the folds, checking we've got everything the right way up. There we are. That's how they look so far. And then we just want to trim off any excess lace that we can see. So we're going to do a bone folder first. Let me find mine. And this just helps to keep things a little bit flat. You know, we're adding bulk with these, but we don't want to add you know, don't want to make it excessive, do we? So this will help just to let them lay flat. And of course, when you come to use them in your journals, you may want to add a paper clip so that you can then also use them as a tuck spot. Otherwise, they can just be a really fun page decoration. And obviously, hidden journaling spot. Okie dokie, so we just, got a bit of bubbles there. Okay, so we just want to check whether we've got any overhanging lace. So if you hold it like this, you can see the lace coming out of each side. So you just want to trim that down a little. So it's probably easiest to go from the back, she says. Now we'll go from the front, and you just want to trim off any excess. As I say, just so that then the lace really is a secret when you open it up. Okay, and just going to trim off a little bit here. And obviously it's a very scrappy project. You know, the idea behind this is you're using scraps of paper and scraps of scrapbook paper. I thought that's a mouthful. And scraps of lace. You could also use, you know, fabrics and things like that. You know, so it is a scrappy project. It's quite a grungy project, I suppose. So, you know, do bear that in mind if you're going to make these. If you like things to be neat as a pin, then this might not be the right one for you. But if you do like things a bit scrappy and grungy, then this could be a good make. Just trimming off to make sure we haven't got any overlap over the creases and things. Okay. Which ones have I done? Did I do that one? Yes, I've done that one. Okay, and then once we've done this, we're going to decorate up the front. So I've got some fussy cuts of birds. I've got some labels. I think that's probably all I'll need to use. But we'll just have a play and see what we can come up with. And obviously, because the Tim Holtz paper is quite decorative, I don't think we're going to need to do a huge amount. You would need to do more if you're using just, you know, plain scrapbook paper, you know, just ones with a basic pattern on them. But yeah, but I have some ideas, so let's get to it. Let's just finish this one off. This one obviously went a little bit awry when I was sewing, so it has popped out a bit. If I just trim the bottom off there, and that should be enough. Okay, and try and get my scissors in without cutting the paper. Okay. Oops. Now the lace I'm using is quite stretchy, so it is moving around on me a little bit, but that's okay. Okay. Alright, that's the bits, all the bits trimmed off, I believe. She says still a bit more there. How's that? So if we close that over, pretty much we can't tell that there's lace inside. That's kind of what we're going for. It's just that it is a bit of a surprise. It doesn't have to be exact. As I say, it is a scrappy project. But I'm just checking. Oops. Okay. Fab. Okay, so we are ready to do some decorating. So let me just move a couple of bits out of the way. Oops. Right, don't need the bone folder anymore. Right, so I've got some birds and I've got some labels. So what we're looking at is some of the fronts are decorative enough. So these birds, for example, I'm obviously not going to add another bird fussy cut, am I? But on the back, it's a bit plain. So let's take these one at a time. So I think on the front, a nice sort of label could be a cute addition to it. Possibly something down there. Oops. Possibly something down there, perhaps. Just checking you can see what I'm doing. So sometimes, you know, that one's huge. No, we definitely want something small if we're going to do anything on this one. Just want to see if we've got anything. So some of the labels I'm using, they're Tracy Fox labels. I print them I print them normally, but then sometimes I print them 2 to a page, so I get nice little ones. Now we also need to decide at this point, are we going to add any lace trim to the bottom or crochet trim? So I'm just going to have a look to see whether I want to do that. Now I'm not sure I'm going to do it on this one because this cute bird, well they're going to lose a bit of his beak, so I won't on this one, but you know, that is something to consider if you like. I think we're just going to do that on this one, keep it simple. But we'll do something on the back, because obviously once this, it is going to clip over the page, and so you don't want to, you want both sides to be decorative, really, because you're going to see both sides. Okay, so very simple on the front, the birds do all the talking. Now on the back, obviously I said the feathers are slightly upside down, so I'm thinking, could we use a bird fussy cut to disguise that a bit? Now I've got lots of birds in here, so it might be a bit of trial and error to find the one that I like, but I do remember cutting out some yellow birds, which could be quite nice. Let's just see if I want to use them, because I want to use birds on. Ooh, I like that one on there. I'm going to save that one for that one. So what do we want for this? We've got this cutie, but if we're going to do that, we would need to add another label. And we already added a label to the front, so let's see what else we have. Now I quite like the, this sort of size where it's got 2 birds on it, so let's just see. I think we want something that's going to contrast with the colours, so I'm quite liking, no, oops. As I say, it is going to be a bit of trial and error, so if this is really boring for you, please skip ahead, and then you can just see what they look like when I'm done. But I don't want to pause, because sometimes it is good to see somebody doing this, so that you can get a feel for what they're looking for. You get a feel for what you're looking for. Now I quite like this cutie. It's a spotted woodpecker, I believe. As I was fussy cutting, I was making sure to look at the names, because I do want to learn more about what all these birds are, and I quite like that one as well. Let's try an owl, just in case. Again, if I'm going to use the owl, I would probably want something there. Okay, I like that one. I like that one, but I do feel like it needs something. I'm just not sure what, so let's just see if any of these work for us. Labels, they really do just like make it, don't they? I really believe that. Just seeing if there's just having a look. I have a lot of labels here. Hopefully the time doesn't tick away too much. How's that? Still preferring the owl, but I do like him as well, so let's just see. I'm going to pull out the same labels, aren't I? I think I'm going to go with the owl. I really like him on there. Yeah, I really like the owl, so let's go with the owl. Isn't it funny how you can feel something straight away, but then you just want to look at all your options, don't you? If I wasn't filming, honestly, I'd probably go through every single one of those birds, you know, to find the right one. But I wouldn't dare do that on camera. Oh my gosh, could you imagine how long that video would be? Okay, so we're gonna glue our little owl down. I'm just using my tacky glue so I can get in and all of his little feathers. Okay, and I like that he takes up a good portion of that, so it's almost like the Tim Holtz paper on this side becomes the you know, the backing. It becomes backing paper rather than the focus. It's kind of what I like about it. Whereas on the front, the Tim Holtz paper does all the talking. So that's just something I've observed about this. Oops. Dropping things again. Okay, so remember, if you would like to win that loaded pocket full of ephemera, then all you need to do is just comment on one of the giveaway videos. Could be this one, just telling me which one you prefer. So in this case, you're choosing which of these scrappy booklets you prefer. Obviously, I'll hold them up, you know, at the end and make it clear which one's which. So here we are. This is this one. Very cute. With an owl on the back, and open it up. You've got your journaling space here. You've got your different laces with some greens, and you have more journaling spot there. Yeah, I really like those. That's one. We've got one. Woohoo! So let's do the butterfly. So for this, again, I want the Tim Holtz paper to do the talking on this side. Now I quite like that label, but I wonder whether we need something bigger. But not that big. Not that big. Not that big. What was I thinking? Just looking. So I hope you're liking how these are turning out. I'm really enjoying them. I'm enjoying making them, but I'm also, yeah, I really like the idea. As I say, it's wasn't originally my idea. I think, you know, I've mainly just adapted it from something that I saw. I have linked her channel below in case you want to have a look at her flip throughs, because she's got some fabulous ideas. Oh, we also need to decide, do we want any lace? Now this one's a bit harder because obviously we're going around that side, aren't we? But we could do it down there. So let's just see how we feel. Quite like it. Now my only hesitation about that one is I feel like it goes over into the butterfly a bit too much. So I have a feeling this is going to be a really long video. I might have to upload it in 2 parts. The first one making them and then the second one decorating. So I'm just going to do that. So I'm going to ink around this little label. These are Tracy Fox labels. I'm sure we've all come across those by now. I am now officially obsessed with them. I really do feel like it just is really easy to use them in your projects, and I do feel like it does really you know, make something look great. You know, as simple as adding a label looks awesome. So so we're going to add this crochet along the side, and before I do that I just want to double check that, yeah, that's fine. I was just checking, did we want to add crochet down both sides, and ideally we do. So just trim that. Oops. And we're just going to glue this down with our Beacon 3-in-1 glue. It's like Fabri-Tac. I'm just smushing it in a bit because this, you know, crochet is a bit holey, so don't want too much shine to come through. Just move that. And then just trim the excess off. And that one's fine. Okay. Cute. Okay, so what are we doing on the back? Now, I do feel like we need a bird on the back. But I think we want a something that takes up most of this space, because this is not bird or botanical related, this one. I'm just making sure I'm not gluing my thing shut. Oops. Nearly. Just clipping it like that for now. I think the glue went over a bit. Yeah, we do want something big because we want to sort of disguise the fact that it's like a dressmaking type of thing. So I'm just going to have a rifle through what we have. Obviously. Oh, see, I love that, but I'm going to miss part of his tail, so no. We have another owl. That's cute. Gosh, I really did cut out a lot, didn't I? I did all this last night, just watching YouTube and watching TV, and I'm glad I did, because we've got plenty to choose from. But I'm sorry if this is, as I say, you can just fast forward me, can't you? As I said, I wanted to do this, you know, make these pieces on camera, just because, you know, it might give you some ideas, but also, you know, I thought it might be a bit more engaging to actually see the pieces being made. So we have an owl, which is alright. Bird is a bit small, but we could add a label. He's a bit big. Two birds. No, they're not bad or anything, I just wasn't feeling them. No. So we have the woodpecker. Which is okay. I don't know what bird that is. If anyone knows, please let me know. Let's see how we feel about that. Bit big, isn't it? Let's go smaller. Right, if I do need to do this in two parts, I will have a part for making them and a part for decorating them, because it is taking me a little bit longer than I thought. It's always the way, isn't it? Not feeling it. And then we have the owl. It's quite a big owl. Of course, if I do that... Oh, we need to think about the lip. Let's do the crochet first. I just suddenly thought, because that might actually help us make a decision. Oops. Way too much. Don't need that much. There's that. Okay, and go here. Just trying to, yeah. Oh, I love the crochet. I love a bit of crochet. That's why I liked this, is mixing papers with fabrics. I just love doing it. I know I've probably said that like 100 times now, but I really do. I like the tactile feel of them. is that. That's great. Okay, right, let's put these back and see. Yeah, see now we'd have to move him over a bit, but we could pop his tail under there a bit, couldn't we? And then have that. Oh yeah, see, I'm glad I did that because now it doesn't feel like anything's missing. So I like that. So note to self, do your crochet first or lace first so you can get a better idea. Nope. Just want to check how we feel about this one with the, I'm going to go with the owl. Decision made. Oops, sorry, I'm just, I'm chucking things everywhere again. Alright, so let's get the label down. There we go. Yeah, I'm really enjoying these. I really am. I'm glad to be able to use the Tim Holtz papers for something something a bit different, I suppose. I mean, it's probably not every day somebody would put lace with Tim Holtz, is it? It's probably not quite, well, you know, I'm sure people have done it. I'm sure lots of people have done it. But yeah, it's I'm liking these, I really am. So, whether this is a part 1 or a part 2, we are going to get 4 of these done. I'm determined. And then you've got 4 choices, you just have to pick one of them. Just telling me if one of them is your favourite. Of course, you don't have to comment on this video, you could wait for the next one, or you could comment on multiple, and then you'd get multiple entries into my little giveaway. So there we go, so we've got a butterfly and a label on the front, and we've got a cute owl and label on the back. So that's that one. Right, let's go for this, because I know I definitely want them on that. I mean, yes, I have to chop a bit of the tail off, but oh, I just love the pop of yellow against that green. So let's ink these up and get them stuck down. Now I don't think I want a label because these birds do take up, you know, a fair bit of room, but we'll look to see if we've got like a little label maybe. Might want something little on there. Oops. Okay, let's just see before we commit. So yeah, really like that. You know, I really don't think it needs anything, but I'm going to look just in case. Have we got anything circular? Got a hexagon. It's not bad or anything, I'm just not feeling it. Just checking I'm still filming. How's that? I mean, yes, but part of me is like, does it even need a label? What do we think? What do we think? I know it definitely needs to be underneath if we are going to have one, but I'm not entirely convinced that it needs one. But I'm going to keep checking just in case. What do we think? Does it need the label? I feel like without it, it is missing something. I've done it again, haven't I? We need to think about whether we're going to have lace or crochet, because that will help us make a decision. Right, let's do that. Because now I'm thinking, oh, I don't want to lose birds, so no crochet for this one, I think. And have a more grungy one. Just going to check this one. Okay, I think I'm going to go with that one. I really don't think it needs the label, but you know, the other part was me thinking maybe it does. So yeah, we're just going to do that and then go for it. Okay. I'm trying very hard to make sure this video isn't ridiculously long, but you know, I am a very indecisive person. But yeah, I hope this is giving you some ideas of how you might be able to use your 6x6s. Oh yeah, we're going to need to cut his tail a bit. It's okay. Ooh, wait. Okay. Much glue. Just open it up. Well, actually, I've managed to get the bird on. So maybe we won't need to cut any off. Actually. There we go. Cute, right? Okay, the back. So again, on this side, this floral is doing most of the work for us. Now, when I add a label, I feel like it's competing with this. So I don't think we want to do that. I mean, we could add another bird. I'm just going to see if I want any trim down this side. I know we didn't do it on the other side, but it might. You know, we might want it. I have so many birds, I think I gave myself too much choice. Or we just leave it with a bit of crochet. I mean, we don't want to add a huge amount of bulk. Just looks a bit like, I don't know, is it? I don't know, I feel like it's lazy if I just leave it. But I feel like, yeah, any label that I add is competing with that ticket. I don't have very many butterflies left. Just have a little look. I might have something in here, let's see. Got a couple. Oops. Sorry, just rifling through. I've got a couple of butterflies, so I just want to have a little look to see whether one of these will do. That's a bit small, I think. I think we're just going to do that. Keep it nice and simple. As I say, on this side the paper is doing most of the talking, so I don't think it needs a huge amount. But at least then, the reason I've added something is just because I felt like this corner was just a bit sparse. That's the only reason, really. You know, I don't think it needed it 100%, but I did feel like it was missing something. just in case you're wondering why, you know, why I'm making some decisions. Okay, I definitely think this is going to be a part 2. So if you are watching the part 2, hello. Hello, I'm Justine. Okay, let's just trim the excess. I mean, I am making 4, you know, I'm trying to make them different, you know, different papers, different, obviously I am kind of following a template, but, you know, I do want them to be different, so you actually have a choice. To let me know if you have a favourite. I can't call it myself just yet. So, okay, we have this one. So we have a nice bird. I'm just going to bone folder that one a bit more because it's sticking up a bit. Alright, so we have got this cute bird, so we don't need much else on the front. I just want to have a look whether we want to have a label. Now, I don't know why I'm going for stuff that's so huge. Do we want... No. Of course, then when I pull out the smaller labels, I'm thinking, oh, I know, could it be, yeah. So we want something that sort of size and colour, possibly. Could also pull it, no, not blue. Yeah. Not sure about blue. I mean, any of those could work, so let's just see. These are not, these are fashion swatch labels, rather than the, you know, the Field Notes botanical ones, but I just like them because of the writing. I find them interesting, so I think I'm going to go with that one. And again, we just want to see, do we want any crochet? Now I've only got a little bit left of this one. Yeah, I quite like it at the... I think I quite like it at the bottom, but I don't think I've got enough to do the other side. So I'm going to have a look to see if I've got a something that can go around both sides. Oops. Or we might just do it on one side like we did the last one. It doesn't have to be on both sides, does it? There we go. I kind of like that this writing is moulding into the writing behind it as well. That's kind of cool. Okay, that's stuck down there. So, oh, and then I remembered this one is the one that actually really does need the lace, because we've got an upside down word. So, what have we got? Yeah, not thin. I'm just going to pause whilst I find a good bit of lace. 2 seconds. Okay, we're in the home stretch. So I have found enough crochet to do front and back, so we're going to get that down. And whilst I was on pause, I just found the pieces that I want to use on the back here. I'm going to go with the spotted woodpecker, which I'm glad about because I really wanted to use him. So I'm just putting this down to mask that upside down word, and also I do feel like it does add a little something to them when you do add this piece at the bottom. Makes them even more decorative, in my opinion. So if this has been a 2-part video, thank you for sticking with me. One of these days I will learn to be a quicker crafter. One day. But that day is not today. Right, let's just do a bit more there. Love it, okay. Fabulous. And then, whilst I'm here, I might as well just do the front. And we managed to get 4. I hope you like them. As I say, I will bring them up again in a moment so you can remember what they all look like. And let me know in the comments if you have a favourite. and that will be your entry into the prize draw for, you know, all this ephemera that I'm making and what will be in the pocket. Now I thought I was going to do the pocket first, but I was in an ephemera kind of mood today, and I really wanted to give these a go, so I just kind of went with it. Of course I have to think about when we're going to do the actual pocket part. I don't know whether to do it once I've got everything made, or to just get on with it, because I kind of know what size I want it to be already, because I want it to be a decent size for a standard size journal in case somebody does want to use it as an actual like piece in the journal, you know, especially as we're going to be decorating it up and everything. Right, so we're going to have the woodpecker, and I was thinking, might put his tail underneath there. I was thinking that takes up enough space there, and I quite like that, so I'm just going to ink the label. Am I still filming? Yes. My phone is keeping up, thank God. It's always the worry. I'm using my phone, and all I think is that, you know, it's going to run out of space. I've probably gone a little bit glitchy a couple of times, I'm sorry if I have, but hopefully you get the gist of what I'm making here, and I'd love to know if you're going to give this a go, or something similar, or if this has sparked any ideas. As I say, I saw this in a flip through of a journal, and I just thought they looked really cool and wanted to give them a go. So I thought no time like the present just to try it out, and yeah, I'm really liking them. There we go. Oops. Glue seepage. There we go. Okay, that was the last one, right? Please tell me we're finished. No, I'm kidding. I really enjoyed making those. I just am very aware of how much time I've actually spent on those. But we made 4, so, you know, at the end of the day, that's not so bad, is it? That's not so bad. So we've got 2 side ones and 2 over the page ones. So I'm just going to grab a journal sheet so you can see what they'll look like on the page. Okay, so the time is now to cast your votes. Which one is your favourite? So this one, I'm calling it Blackbird. I'm sorry if that is not the actual bird on the front, but I'm calling it Blackbird. So that's how we look inside with all our cute laces. And there's your journal spot at the bottom there. And on the back, we've got Spotted Woodpecker. Isn't he cute? Very, very cute. Now, to be fair, either or could be the front or back. Maybe Blackbird, Spotted Woodpecker, that is that one. Okay, then we have this cute butterfly one with a label on the front and some crochet. This one opens up to the side, so this will slip over the page that way. Journal spot here as well as underneath here. And on the back we have this cute owl with a field notes label. So again, front or back really. We've got an over the top one here with these green birds. I'm sure there's a real name for them, but you know, we're going to call this one green birds. Journal spot here, some laces here, and there's your journal spot. I really like these. And then we have an owl on the back. So it might be easier if we call that one, no, green birds. Green birds is fine. But yeah, I really like the owl on the back too. And then last but not least, I love this one. We are going to call this one Yellow Birds. So we have this, and then this one opens up to the side here. So we've got journal spot there, some laces, and more journaling there. And on the back, we've got obviously the Tim Holtz paper with butterfly and some crochet. So I really hope you like how those have turned out. I love them. It was a bit of a battle to get there, as per usual. But yeah, I'm really pleased with how those turned out. I hope you like them as well. So yes, if you would like to be in the prize draw to win I'm making a loaded ephemera pocket with bits and pieces inside, handmade and vintage, so these will be one of the handmade components. So there'll be one of these in the loaded pocket, so if you do have a favourite, let me know in the comments. That will be your entry into the prize draw when we're finished, and then obviously I'll use your comments to determine which one you'll get in your pack if you are the winner. Just like I said in the last video, if you comment on more than one giveaway video, then that will be multiple entries into the giveaway. Anyway, shall leave it at that. I have no idea how long these videos have been, so I'm sorry if it did turn into 2 parts or just a mammoth video. But we'll see, and yeah, I'll see you on the next video. Thanks so much. Bye-bye now. Hello! I just realised I was supposed to be showing you how they look on the page. So we have the side ones here. Now the side ones will need to be clipped in so that they stay in place. So just grabbing a paper clip just to show you how they would look, just in case it does help you to decide. So I've just got a paper clip here, and then when you use the paper clip they can be a tuck. So you'd have that, and yeah, you might have to decide where you're going to have the paper clip so we're not impacting that owl too much. But that's that one. Okay. And then we have this one, which now the over the top, over the page ones, they can just sit there like that. You know, they will slip inside a bit, but you can also clip them in. So let's just see how that would look. Oops. Okay, so something like that. Obviously these are just placeholder paper clips. Hopefully you can see those okay. So that's that one. And then we have another over the page one here. Kind of like that. Oops, I haven't got that on very straight, but you get the idea. Love that. And then yeah, that one's fine on the other side because it's not got too much on it, so hopefully you can see that one. And then last one, and then I promise I am disappearing. So we have this, oops, with the paper clip, like so. Cute. And yeah, we might want to adjust where we have the paper clip so we're not getting that that cutie birdie. There you go, off to the side there. Cute. I really like them. I will do these again, and you know, the more I make, the better we'll get. The better they will get, I'm sure. But yeah, I really think they're really cute. So yes, cast your votes. That's all. Thank you. Bye.